Okay, there's a little bit of play there, but that's ideal because that means we can line the neck up perfectly straight with the seam of the body. Okay, so let's clamp one side. Not hard, just in position, like so. So it's like so. Now we get a straight edge, a long straight edge. All of them. And we go down the center line and we check the alignment of the neck. This is the first step. Okay, that's a bit out, so we've got to go tap, tap, tap. This way. That's pretty close. Let me get some tape up here. Let's get accurate. So that's typically the position we want. What we're going to do is tape that up. Just put a little bit of tape in this end and get the center of this line up here and really line it up. I can eyeball it, but I don't want to eyeball it. It's important to get the exact center line alignment. So we're going to measure across there and mark halfway across that neck. Okay, at the second fret we've got 46. So that's 23. Perfect, and it lines up with that dot perfectly in the center. So we know we're in the center because we marked all those dots in the center. Now we can line this up again. That's positioned there. We just match up the base of that with where that dot is. And we wiggle the neck until we get alignment. That's it right there. That's pretty much it right there. A little bit this way. A little bit that way. That's pretty much it. Right, that's good right there. So now we put the second clamp in to hold it in place. Let me eyeball that. Oh yeah, that's good. That's dead straight. Okay, now we flip this guy over. I'm going to go upright. That neck is straight. And we're going to thread a couple of screws and we're going to mark where we need those holes. In actual fact, I have my spike, which is the right thickness. I hold this very carefully not to move. That's not going to go in because this clamp's in the way. Okay, I need this. Okay, we've got a problem here. I've got to move this clamp down. There we go. Let's Try that. Okay, that's going to work. I put a dent in the neck. Another dent in the neck. Okay, I now have 2 reference holes right there. They're the 2 top mounting holes. I can now center this plate over the top, center those 2, and that's where the other 2 holes will be needed. So I've marked the plate there, and now we can mark the other 2 center holes. And I'm going to double check this, so don't fret. Now, since I've got those holes, what I can do tap those in there. I can tap the top 2, key that in, and just double check the others. So we wind those in. Put the neck in, you'll feel it grab. Like that. You'll feel the screws grab it because they're like pins on those little dents that I've done. Yep, exactly where I thought. So that's going to work. We can mark those out now because we know we're in the right place. And now, we're going to drill the holes first. So what I need to do is work out the depth needed. These are shortened screws. Why? Because we have a shortened or a thinner body. So when we do drive these in, they've got to go a certain distance. And that distance is going to be determined by the heel here. So let's see, we're going to take about 1/4 inch off there. So how far down do we go? Let's have a look here. We're going to mark that. We're going to go to, whoops, I need the plate. Got to accommodate the plate thickness. Let's pop the plate on. Pop the neck in. Clamp that in place just loosely to hold it in place while we take a measurement of the thickness required or the depth of drilling that's required. Okay, we're going to take off 1/4 inch. So I need to go to there. The screw can go to there. Okay. Okay. Hang on a second. Let me see how long these screws are. Okay. So they're the right depth. Yeah, we're going to be fine, I think. We're going to go to about, let me take that much off, which is 4 millimeters. Yep, okay, just there. Okay, that's where now I know where to drill down. Okay, we take this off, remove the neck, and now we're in the position to drill some holes. So, first things first, let's get our holes punched in here. Our guides. The thickness of these screws, we need the right drill bit. The right drill bit is as follows: 4 millimeters. Four mil. Lovely. And now we take this to the drill press. We need to work out the depth to cut these. It's got to go to there. Where's that mark? Okay. Grab some tape. Okay, that's the depth we cut into the neck. It'll just cut into the fretboard without pushing any frets out. Okay, now we're off to the table. Let's go. Shift the camera, but it ain't activated. Let's work that out. Let's go see what's wrong with that camera. Okay, it's not on. I don't know why. There we go. That should work. Let's see how we go this time. Activate. There we go. Okay, goodo. Let's go and drill those holes. So, let's remove this little press, fractal press. Fractal press removed. Pop that back in its hole. Pop the drill in. And now we're going to adjust the height of the drill to drill down as far as we need to and set the stop depth at the right level.